I grew up in Southern Indiana. I was born in Miami, Florida, but I grew up in Southern Indiana. And then after college, I went to Indiana University. After college, moved to Indianapolis, where I began my teaching career. I taught middle school social studies for 11 years. I started working for 5-Star because the school I was working at, we started a relationship with 5-Star as we were beginning our transition into one-to-one, into getting our devices into all of our students' hands, and 5-Star helped with that transition. And then as we were ready to launch that, our school district decided to hire a coach that would help teachers with that transition, provide professional development for those teachers. And that person was going to be actually working for 5-Star, but through our district. So I interviewed for that position. 5-Star did not hire me. They hired somebody else. But about a year and a half later, that person left, and 5-Star came back to me and said, "Hey, you want this job?" And I said, "Sure." So it was about a 2-year process, but eventually I got hired at 5-Star. Well, my title here at 5-Star is Instructional Design Specialist, which is a unique position here at 5-Star. I work with the professional development team, so I'm still involved in helping educators incorporate technology into their classrooms in the most effective and impactful way possible. What my job is a little different is that most of my time is spent in the development and facilitation of our self-paced coursework. So it's a new offering that we have here at 5-Star within the last couple of years. So while we do live and on-site and virtual professional development with school districts, we also offer self-paced coursework where educators can go through that professional development at their own pace. So I kind of oversee most of that. In addition, I also have my hands in kind of consulting and helping out with the Indiana Learning Lab as well. Who was my favorite teacher growing up? I think any teacher has a hard time answering that question, because as you work in the profession, you start to realize the value of so many different aspects of what a great teacher is. So I always have 4 answers to that question, so I will rattle off all 4 real quick. Mr. McCracken was my high school calculus teacher. He was the toughest teacher I ever had. Nothing came easy in that class. He was not the handhold, make you feel special kind of teacher, but he just had such high expectations, but would absolutely help you reach them. But it was incumbent upon you to do it. And so any success you had in that class felt like the biggest win. It's the most pride I've ever taken in any kind of grade I've ever received in my life. So Mr. McCracken was one. I played sports all through, middle school and high school. And so coaches, I think, often get overlooked as teachers. Most of the time they are teachers, but Coach Cobb was my middle school basketball coach and was absolutely the greatest coach I ever had. In college, it was Professor Madison in the history department, who I became a history teacher. So he made it so engaging and interesting, and you could feel his passion for the subject. And it made history interesting to me. Probably the most impactful was Mrs. Palladino, was my middle school social studies teacher. That's what I became. I became a middle school social studies teacher. I'm sure she was subconsciously very heavily influencing me in doing that. She made class fun. I looked forward to going to that class every day. It maybe wasn't the best subject of mine, but I looked forward to it every day because of her ability to make the class fun, make personal connections with students while still holding high expectations for everybody. She was amazing. So those would be my 4. Because everyone on our team comes from an education background, we are all classroom teachers. We understand that it is a profession and they are experts like every other profession. And I love the interactions that we get to have with educators from across the country, and just to be able to interact with them professional to professional, realizing how busy they are, realizing that any time that they are spending in front of us or with us is extra. They want to grow. They want to continually improve. They want to learn about new stuff, but they can't do all of the legwork that goes into researching all of that and developing all of that. So I think that's what the 5-Star PD team can bring. That's literally what we do. That's what we spend our day doing. We are in charge of staying on top of all of that stuff, weeding out the stuff that is fluff or that won't work. When you leave, our goal is always that you leave with something you can actionably do tomorrow with your kids. It's applicable. You can use it right away. And we have done the legwork of figuring all of that out, because you cannot expect teachers to do all that on their own.